Okay. So what can you do to make sure that you aren't affected by these type of problems that result in these type of issues that we are looking at here? So the first and foremost thing is that you must read your policy and understand what coverage you have purchased. Sometimes that is easier said than done, and if any of you have ever tried to read a travel insurance policy, it's not easy because, first of all, it's not very exciting material, and second of all, it's very difficult to understand. If you are reading some of the items in the policy, you can read it 3 or 4 times and still not really be sure what it means. So you sometimes feel like you need a Philadelphia lawyer to interpret these things for you. So reading your policy wording might be easy to say, but it's not so easy to really do to make sure that you understand the coverage that you've purchased. And of course, we can help you with that. Really, that's what a broker is for. So your goal in buying an insurance policy should be to have all of your current conditions covered under your policy. So a lot of people say, well, I've had a heart attack, so I guess I don't have coverage for my heart. And actually, that answer is not necessarily. There are policies out there, and most of the policies that we sell here at Medical Insurance Brokers are policies that cover your current conditions. So there's no reason why you shouldn't make it your goal to have your current conditions covered under your policy. Every policy in Canada has a clause that it contains on how currently treated medical conditions will be covered. So whether you buy your insurance from us or not, whether the person that you bought it from mentioned this clause or not, it does exist. So it's very important to know what that clause reads and what it means. And of course, you should always review your policy documents for accuracy. So the dates on your policy should reflect your actual dates of travel. I throw that in there because that's something that we see a lot, where people don't realize that they set up their travel insurance policy with certain dates, and then they change those dates along the way, and they think, oh, well, it's not a big deal. And actually, it can be a very big deal. So the dates on your policy should reflect your actual dates of travel. Your name should also match the name on your government health insurance card. So a lot of people think that the name on their policy should match their passport. But actually, the name on your policy should match the name on your government health insurance card. So, for those of you who might use your middle name or who might have, some differences in your name, that is a very important thing to remember. And a lot of people don't realize that. Okay, so what can I do to make sure that this type of a thing doesn't happen to me? So first of all, you want to make sure that you're dealing with a company that offers the basics to you, and our list of the basics are here. First of all, you want to make sure you're dealing with independent, licensed salespeople. You don't want to be buying from someone who isn't licensed, who isn't independent, because those people won't, first of all, have your best interest at heart, and second of all, won't necessarily be trained as well as they should to be able to make sure that you're not going to have a problem, or that you are going to get the insurance that you need for your travel. And of course, again, you want to get a policy that offers coverage for your pre-existing conditions or for your currently existing conditions, because if you've already had a heart attack, heaven forbid you should have another heart attack or another heart issue, you want to have coverage for that. So don't accept anything less, is what we suggest. And of course, you want to make sure that the insurance policy that you have is not going to levy a fee for making changes to your policy. So You know, sometimes you buy your policy well in advance, and maybe you're driving, and so you think you might leave on such and such a day, and then you end up leaving on a different day. So, you know, you want to make sure that you aren't going to be paying a fee for those changes. And also, another very important item that people forget to ask at times is that you want to make sure that the policy that you buy offers a full premium refund if you can't go on your trip for any reason. So if your policy requires that you get a letter from your doctor in order to get a refund, because the only time you get your money back is when you have a medical problem, and that's the reason why you can't go on your trip. First of all, you're going to have a hassle because you're going to have to get a letter from your doctor. And second of all, if you decide not to go for some reason, you can't get your money back. So obviously you want to make sure that you have a company that offers a premium refund if you cancel your trip for any reason. So those are just things that you know, might seem like they're obvious, but might not be obvious to everybody. Okay, so of course you want to look for an insurance company that, now in the event of a claim, you want them to pay directly to the hospital. So you don't want the hospital saying, well, we're going to charge you for this treatment. You know, it's fine if it's $200, but what if it's $2,000 or $5,000 or $20,000? So you don't want to have to fork out the money and be reimbursed by the insurance company. I mean, that's okay, again, if it's a small amount, but it's not okay if it's a larger amount. You certainly don't want to have to be running around trying to find money and where are you going to get this money from. You want to make sure that the insurance company does that for you. So what you need to look for is an offer to guarantee payment to the hospital even before the insurance company has completed their verification of your coverage. So you don't want to have treatment being held up for, you know, waiting for the insurance company to verify your coverage. That is, I mean, you want to, if you need emergency surgery for whatever reason, you want to have that now. You don't want to be stalling or having the hospital in the U.S. stalling that treatment because you can't get that guarantee of payment from the hospital. And of course, you'd like to have a insurance policy that will allow you to go to an urgent care clinic or an independent lab of your choosing. You don't want to have to be bound by certain clinics or certain hospitals, because those certain hospitals or clinics might not be near to you. They might not be easy for you to get to. So you want to be able to go to the nearest clinic. Now, that said, just a side note here, urgent care clinics in the U.S., now our equivalent to that in Canada is like a minor emergency clinic. They call them urgent care clinics in the U.S., as you know. But sometimes, because the healthcare is set up differently in the U.S., sometimes urgent care clinics, you know, they won't take insurance because they're not required to. No one's, they've got no big brother looking down their neck and saying, oh, you've got to do this or you've got to do that. They can do whatever they want in the U.S. They're not governed by anybody. They're not answering to anybody. And so if an urgent care clinic decides they don't want to be bothered with Canadian travel insurance, they might not accept your insurance if you walk in there. So it's up to you. If you go there anyways, you can get reimbursed for your treatment. Most insurance companies will allow you to, provided you still have to call them and advise them of the claim, but then you would just get reimbursed for that rather than having it pay direct to the hospital. So it is an option, but when you buy your policy and you leave on your trip, you could actually call the assistance company and just let them know you don't have a claim right now, but you'd like to know which hospitals in the area that you're staying will actually accept their insurance, and they will do that for you. They will give you a list of hospitals near you that will accept their insurance. So that can be very, very smart move to do. And of course, you want an insurance company to provide assistance to you, such as message relay to your family, medical case management. Now, what I mean by medical case management is that you want to make sure that the